a small batch about every 20 minutes. Dr. Ezekiel, Zeke as they call him, is making pretty good inroads into the western region, more than Awolowo is making in Zeke's eastern region. The North is still the key to this whole affair. It's going to be until the last report is in. This is the northern region. Inside its boundaries lie 3/4 of all Nigeria, more than half of all Nigerian people. These are Nigerians with a history. Once linked to the Mediterranean civilization by ancient trade routes, they are linked today by their Muslim faith. This is the Central Mosque in Kano City, heartland of northern Muslim country. We felt the deep power of the Islamic faith that dwells in these people. 5 times a day, the faithful pray. They face Mecca, put their faces to the ground, implore the blessings of Allah. We saw, too, the tradition-bound power of the native authority system, the system of so-called indirect rule through which the British have administered this part of Nigeria. They preserved the power of the traditional rulers, the emirs, and through them controlled the territory. This is the Emir of Kano, combination king, high priest, judge, jury, legislator, and tax collector for his province. Once a year, the Emir himself, in the majesty of his robes and his Cadillac, arrives in each district to lay down the tax rates for the year. First come his red and green robed bodyguard to case the village square, like the U.S. Secret Service in advance of a presidential visit. Then come the native authority police and the Emir's trumpeters. The Emir invokes the blessings of Allah on the people. He tells the headmen of each village summoned here that their tax will not be raised this year, even though expenditures have gone up. The fact that this is an election year may have something to do with that. The Emir's private secretary, a younger brother, calls each village head in turn. The small pieces of paper show the tax levied on each family, in each hamlet or section of the village concerned. Every person in the district is accounted for in this head tax levy. The standard tax this year is 37 shillings, just short of $6 per head. In this district of 28,000 heads, the Emir raised 46,000 pounds sterling for his native authority government. The Emir himself does not tell the people for whom to vote, but after he enters his brother's house to rest, his information officer, Maitama Sule, youthful leader in the Northern People's Congress, takes over. There can be no doubt in the people's minds for whom the Emir, their political and religious ruler and symbol, wants them to vote. Not many of them here will try to beat City Hall.
We had our own system of administration before the Europeans came. We had our own educational system before the Europeans came. And so you can see that it is even very foolish for anybody, for that matter, to call the northern region a backward place. It is not a backward place, and it has never been.
Chief Awolowo, helicopter crusader from the more liberated South, disagrees.
It's a wide gap which creates mutual suspicion between the northerners and the southerners. And that gap must be closed as quickly as we can in order to remove the suspicion which exists. The present feudal system must disappear in due course, and it should be replaced by elected council over which the emirs should preside.
But what about your program? Where does it differ, for example, from the NCNC?
Well, our program differs considerably from the NCNC in the sense that we have started what we call a welfare state in the western region, which has not been started in other places. Take the question of wages, for instance. We are the only region in the country paying 5 shillings and 6 pence minimum wage to workers. Whereas in the north here, it's only 2 shillings and 8 pence.
The helicopter campaign invasion of Chief Awolowo into the hostile north was an invitation to violence. He was out to break through the solid north of the Sardanas party and win seats for his action group among the northern Muslims, just as a Republican candidate in the United States might campaign below the Mason-Dixon line in an effort to break the Democratic solid South. The last time Awolowo spoke here several years ago, his action group rally touched off 4 days of rioting, 30 killed, nearly 400 casualties. Feelings were running high again, ancient tribal animosities between Yoruba and Hausa.
Do you think you're going to have any trouble up here, any violence of any kind in this area?
I don't think so. I doubt it very much. So far, I've had a very successful campaign tour of the North. And I don't think...
There's been no violence and no police repression on the
No, not as far as I'm concerned.
Just before sunset, there were only a few hundred people at the rally site. By sunset, there were 25,000. They seemed to come out of the ground.
Very interesting to note that our opponents, the NPC, are so afraid of the message of the action group that they have arranged for some hooligans to disturb this very big and successful meeting.